Today I wanted to talk about a man that crashed his airplane for views. Say hello to Trevor Jacob, a YouTuber that has 140,000 subscribers. He loves sharing adventure stories and things he's learned. And 1 year ago, he released a video that got over 4 million views titled, "I Crashed My Plane." And there was a lot of skepticism over this video, mainly because he had GoPros at every angle on his plane. He had a parachute on, and he had a selfie stick as he was falling out of the plane. And just in case you thought that angle wasn't enough, don't worry, he had another. My man came into this like it was a full production set, ready for anything and everything that could go wrong, treating it like it was a set on John Wick, ready for all the camera angles and action. A lot of people thought that he did this on purpose. He crashed his plane on purpose in order to get views. And with the title like "I Crashed My Airplane," I think it's pretty apparent that it's kind of like telling on himself a little bit there. For those of you that don't know, it was December 24th, 2021 when this video began to go viral. It was a video of him jumping out of his airplane. Okay, well, nothing wrong with that. You're jumping out of your airplane because it malfunctioned, right? Well, the reason why people were so skeptical is because he seemed to have GoPros all over the airplane, catching every angle of the incident. He had a parachute on, which is not normal for somebody that is just going on a plane ride. You don't just put on a parachute. It's not just there on your back. You don't do that. And he had a selfie stick when he jumped out of the airplane. So he was like, "Whoa, look at me. I'm crashing. Ah." It's like one of those scenes whenever somebody's recording themselves cry because they want to show how bad they feel for something that's happening, or they're recording their meltdown or something like that. It's like you had to prep for that. You had to get ready for that moment. You had to take like 10, 30 seconds. You're like, "Oh God, I'm starting to cry. Okay, let me get my phone out, go to my Snapchat or whatever I use to record and cry." And then it's like, it's so staged. It's so obvious. And then when these type of videos come out, it's just like, there's something off about it. You can't help but be a little skeptic when it's like this, especially when the title is like, "I crashed my airplane," and then it's so many cameras, like it's staged. Of course people are going to question it, right? Well, when all this happened, Trevor said that the plane had malfunctioned, purposely abandoned the aircraft, and allowed it to crash into the Los Padres National Forest in South California. Now let's imagine that he just prepped his plane with a bunch of cameras and decided to wear a parachute that day and bring a selfie stick just because, you know, he wanted to record it. He does a lot of crazy stuff on his YouTube channel, and that's probably what was going through his mind. He's like, "Well, I already do stuff like this anyways, like extreme stuff. People are going to just think maybe I was just going up into the airplane and recording a session of me flying." Everything would have been okay if that was true and the plane actually did malfunction, but it didn't. And what makes this even worse is what would have happened if that plane didn't crash into the mountain? What if it kept going and then it just bombed into a city or a house or somebody driving down the road and killed multiple people? That's another reason why this is so serious, because he could have harmed a lot of people with that, and it could have been probably considered a terrorist attack at that point. Till this day, I'm still amazed at what people are willing to do to get views and the extremes people go through. It's really insane. It's crazy. Let me know if you agree. Let me know in the comments how crazy it is that we keep seeing things like this happen. There's always something that keeps like stacking higher and higher than the last thing, you know? Everybody's trying to one up each other. In his statement to the public back when this was happening, he said, "But the truth of that situation will come out with time," he added, and I'll leave it at that. Because he didn't want to give out too much information because his attorneys probably told him to say so, and it's now came to light that he did do this on purpose. I'm guessing they saw it to be in his best interest to go ahead and plead guilty to this crime that he committed, and that way we get less of a sentence, I'm assuming. Jacob admitted in his plea agreement that he intended to make money through the video. He also admitted to lying to federal investigators after submitting an aircraft accident incident report and falsely claimed the plane fully lost power roughly half an hour after takeoff. Jacob also lied to a Federal Aviation Administration aviation safety inspector when he said the airplane's engine had quit, and because he could not identify any safe landing options, he had parachuted out of the plane. The FAA revoked Jacob's pilot license last year, according to the release. Jacob is expected to appear in court in the coming weeks. The YouTuber reported the crash to the National Transportation Safety Board 2 days later and agreed to share the site of the wreck, but he instead lied to authorities that he did not know where the crash site was, and roughly 2 weeks later flew to the site with a friend, loaded up wreckage, and later destroyed it, according to the release, which cites the plea agreement. So this guy thought he could post a video of him flying an airplane, crashing the airplane, and then hiding the evidence that he ever did that in the first place, while there's a video of him out there of him doing the whole thing. What was he going to do? Was he going to be like, oh, guys, it was CGI. It was all fake, man. You seen all that AI stuff that's been going around? Yeah, that's what this is. I don't think AI was that good back then, though, was it? Now, his story for this whole thing was that he was going up there to spread ashes for his passed away friend, which I think makes it even a little more worse. Trying to use your friend's death in order to gain profit, that's pretty messed up. I'm assuming he was thinking, I'll use my friend's death and people will look more at that and feel bad for me and not look at the fact that I just crashed a plane on purpose. He thought he was smart, but not smart enough. Mr. Jacob said in a statement in January that he had flown that day to spread the ashes of his best friend, Johnny Strange, over the top of Sierra Nevada mountain. Mr. Strange died in 2015 while base jumping on an extreme sport in which people parachute from a fixed object or structure such as a cliff. So it seems like he had it all planned out. He was even acting whenever the plane started to crash.
Holy I'm over the mountains and I get out an engine out.
You know, with all these camera angles, I'm surprised he didn't have one in the cabin, and that should be like a telltale right there. Like, why doesn't he have a camera inside the cabin where it's like pointing to where you can see him and things that might be happening to the engine or any malfunctions and things of that nature? I can tell you, if I was in that situation, the last thing I'd be doing is pulling out a selfie stick to record my reaction to me about to die because my plane is malfunctioning. Now, sure, I guess I could see somebody pulling out their phone to record like maybe a message to, you know, somebody they love, but putting their phone on a selfie stick, or I think it was a phone, right? Or was it a GoPro? That I'm not sure. But either way, it was something that was recording on a selfie stick, and he had to take the time to pull it out and push the record button. All this time he could have been using to check the engine, see what's going on, maybe radio it in, try to find a place to land. He didn't do that. Instead, he pulled out his selfie stick and started recording his fake reaction. A lot of people had things to say about this in the comments as well. A pilot's license isn't just a privilege, it's a badge of responsibility in aviation. Slap in the face to pilots who have faced real emergencies and weren't so fortunate. I train pilots for emergency situations such as this, the main role in emergency, and I cannot stress this enough, never ever forget your selfie stick. Anyone watching this now that he's facing 20 years. Imagine putting in all those hours of money into flying school and buying a private plane just to crash it for a YouTube video and get your license taken away. His parents must be proud. So yeah, I can see how this is very disrespectful to people that take flying seriously, and a slap in the face to pilots that have been in situations like this and didn't make it out of it. He's making a mockery out of it by acting like it's just something you do for views and showing no care for the human life around him, the possibilities that could have happened here. If this would have went wrong, it could have hurt so many people. I hope you guys enjoyed that video today. Let me know what you thought about this situation. Leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe if you're new, and if you'd like to support more videos like this, consider becoming a Patreon. Also, I do live streams over on Facebook every day at 5 p.m. EST if you guys want to stop by and say hello. I'll see you guys in the next one.